To get things started today, you better strap in because what is being cooked up behind the scenes in Foxborough could rewrite the script of our dynasty forever. There are quiet moves being made, chess pieces being slid into position, and a looming decision that is going to split this fan base right down the middle between being grateful for the past and being hungry for the future. Are you ready to see a fan favorite walk so a true Titan can arrive? The Combine is absolutely electric right now, and the breadcrumbs I have picked up are going to keep you awake at night. You are not going to believe the heat we have today. So lean back, smash that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. Also, make sure to hit subscribe because we're making a massive push for 1,000 subscribers. The energy out in Indy for the NFL Combine always gives you those preseason butterflies. But this year the vibe feels different for us die-hard Pats fans. With 11 draft picks in the bag and a starting quarterback playing at an MVP level while still on his rookie deal, the table is set for a serious championship run. However, to stay at the top, some cold-blooded business decisions have to happen right now. There's one name that analysts cannot stop whispering about, and it is the kind of name that makes any New Englander's heart skip a beat. A.J. Brown. The Eagles superstar has never hidden his love for the Patriots, having grown up a massive fan of the Flying Elvis, and his connection with Mike Vrabel goes way back to their days in Tennessee. But here is the massive question mark keeping the front office up at night. What do we do with Stefon Diggs? Things are getting heavy. Diggs is dealing with some serious legal hurdles and carries a monster $26.5 million cap hit for 2026. By March 13th, $6 million of that becomes fully guaranteed. Vrabel was pretty cryptic when he said that a lot can happen before kickoff and that nobody on this roster is truly safe. The strategic dilemma is crystal clear. Is it worth shipping off draft capital, maybe a second or third rounder, to land a 28-year-old Brown while dumping the massive contract of a 32-year-old Diggs? As someone who will defend this team to the grave, I am telling you the time to be aggressive is right now. Drake may need a certified weapon, and Brown would immediately become the alpha in this offense, leapfrogging guys like Stevenson and Hunter Henry. Elliott Wolf already laid down the law by saying we want receivers who hunt the football without the diva attitude that trashes a locker room. Those backroom talks between the Pats and Eagles are almost certainly happening in the shadows of the Combine. Philly holds the cards, but the friction between Brown and their offensive scheme is a wound that hasn't healed. Just imagine the roar at Gillette if he suits up in navy and silver. It would be checkmate for the AFC. If New England plays this right and makes an offer the Eagles can't refuse, they ensure May's prime isn't wasted on a fading receiving core. The million-dollar question remains: does the front office have the stones to cut ties with Diggs to secure the future with Brown? And that wasn't even the wildest part of the day. While the front office is playing high-stakes poker, the turf at Lucas Oil Stadium became a showcase of raw athleticism that left Patriots scouts floored. On day 3 of the Combine, after most of the media had packed it in, I stuck around to watch the defensive backs and tight ends. What I saw was a clinic in power and speed. Mike Vrabel already hinted that tight end depth was a massive priority, and kids like Oscar Delp and Kenyon Sadiq looked incredibly sharp during their interviews. But what really shook the building was the defensive line group. Watching 300-pound giants clock sub-5-second 40-yard dashes is just pure insanity. Zane Durant out of Penn State and Caleb Proctor were the absolute stars of the show. These guys were hitting top speeds of nearly 21 miles per hour. Just imagine these monsters as interior pass rushers in our system, hunting down quarterbacks with that kind of twitch. Fans are already starting to see the next wave of our safety lineage too, especially with that Cal connection. Hezekiah Massis is looking like the next great defensive back to follow in the footsteps of Jalen Hawkins and Craig Woodson. Massis spoke with a ton of pride about the standard of excellence at his school, and we all know Vrabel lives for players who have that mentality of living by the standard every single day. But the story that really hit home for the old school fans was Oscar Delp. This kid grew up watching Chris Hogan highlights on YouTube, getting inspired by that whole across the gridiron pipeline. Delp brings that grit and versatility that Bill Belichick used to rave about, and even under Vrabel, that blue-collar DNA remains the backbone of the Patriots. The interest in Delp isn't just about the playbook. It is a bridge to our winning history. Seeing a top-tier prospect show that kind of respect for our legends creates a massive amount of hype for how he fits into the 2026 offensive scheme. The defense is getting elite speed, and the offense might just land a tight end with the heart of a champion. The plan is coming together piece by piece. But what happened next is even more unbelievable. Even with all the hype surrounding the new blood at the Combine, the locker room in Foxborough just took a hit that nobody saw coming this early in the offseason. Veteran coach Ben McAdoo, who was a cornerstone during this coaching transition over the last 2 years, is officially moving on. McAdoo served as a senior defensive assistant under Vrabel last season, and his departure leaves a massive hole in the experience department. For those who need a refresher, he originally came in to help Jared Mayo on offense, but his flexibility led him to coach the defensive side for the first time in his 20-year career in 2025. This news hit like a ton of bricks because McAdoo had deep ties with Elliott Wolf from their Green Bay days and was seen as a stabilizing force in the building. His exit marks the third major loss on Vrabel's staff, joining Robert Kugler and Milton Patterson on the way out. This is causing some natural anxiety among the fans. People are wondering if we are losing that steady hand that guided us back to the top. However, there is a method to this madness. The Patriots are getting aggressive with internal promotions. Zach Corr has already stepped up as the defensive coordinator, and Vinny DePalma has been elevated to linebackers coach. This move proves that Vrabel has total faith in the philosophy he is building and prefers to keep that Patriots DNA in-house rather than bringing in outsiders who might take months to catch on. Losing McAdoo might feel like a step back in terms of veteran presence, but strategically it clears the way for a younger, hungrier coaching staff that matches the high motor we saw at the Combine. The board is moving fast. We lost an experienced mentor, but we gained total cohesion. The fan forums are split, with some fearing the lack of experience, while others are cheering for the youth movement needed to sustain a long-term dynasty. The reality is that the 2026 coaching staff is going to reflect Vrabel's personal vision more than ever before. The stakes are sky high, but the payoff of a defense fully molded in his image could be the final piece of the puzzle. While we are all processing this, the blueprint for a 2026 title is being drawn up. We are living through some high-octane days, from the potential arrival of A.J. Brown to pair up with Drake May, to the terrifying speed of these new defensive prospects and the gutsy coaching shuffle following McAdoo's exit. The Patriots are evolving, and the aggression from Vrabel and Wolf shows we aren't settling for anything less than a trophy. The future looks bright, but it requires some tough calls right now. So I am asking you, would you pull the trigger and swap Stefon Diggs for A.J. Brown today? Drop your take in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with the rest of the Pats Nation. Let's hit that 1,000 subscriber goal together.